Welcome to the PhoneArena.com video review of the Samsung Omnia II. The Omnia II upgrades in many ways from the original, not the least of which is its 3.7-inch AMOLED display. Active matrix organic LED technology means the display is much brighter and crisper than traditional LED displays. It also is much thinner and uses less power, which in this case has doubled the Omnia's battery life. Not surprisingly, the phone design revolves around this display. As you see, the front is very simple. We have a small forward-facing camera at the top right, and also the send and end keys at the bottom, as well as the cube key, which serves as a toggle between the start menu and whatever screen you're on. To the left side of the phone is simply the volume rocker, and on the right we find a lock key, an OK key, and a camera button. The top of the phone houses the 3.5mm headset jack, as well as the micro USB charging and data port. The back of the phone simply has the gigantic camera. In this case it's 5 megapixels, the same as on the original Omnia, though it does have a dual LED display this time around. Also on the back is the phone's single speaker. To access the micro SD expansion slot, one has to remove the battery cover. As you can see, you also will find the SIM card slot and of course the battery here as well. It has micro SD expansion up to 32 gigabytes, but it will also has 8 gigs of internal memory. One of the interesting things about the Omnia, which we saw the first time around as well, is that there's no stylus. It does come with a little pen stylus, which you can attach like a lanyard. However, the phone has been completely redesigned to have finger-friendly menus. We saw the TouchWiz interface on the Omnia, but Samsung's done one better with TouchWiz 2.0. We still have the familiar bar on the side. Here we have widgets that we can drag and drop on and off the screen. When we reviewed the Memoir, we found that it was very helpful as a launcher, but not so helpful in terms of using it on screen. One of the nice things with the Omnia 2 is that they give you 3 home screens, however. Here we have our main home screen, where we had our calendar and clock, as well as a small launcher bar and some missed info. As we slide across to the next page, we'll see one of the major problems with the Omnia 2 is lag. You can count the seconds here and how long it's taking to load these different widgets. This almost completely diminishes their functionality. Still, it's not a bad thing to have, and if you can get over that lag, the Omnia 2 may be a great phone for you. For us, however, it's something that ruined the user experience, and in the end, we just couldn't get over it. It's what's really holding the phone back from being good versus great. We are using the stylus here, but trust us, it's only for fingerprint's sake, and these menus are wonderfully designed to be finger friendly. As you can see, all the icons are large. Again, this is a non-traditional start menu, something that Samsung has completely skinned. Windows Mobile is almost completely taken out of the equation. If it weren't for the lag, you'd almost never remember that this is a Windows Mobile device. By default you have 4 pages here. However, in the edit screen you can see you can add or remove icons, and you can also add up to 10 pages total. One of the things we've tried at HTC on in the past is, despite that their great home screen, they haven't skinned Windows Mobile quite deep enough. Samsung has. You can see the settings menu here, much different than you'd ever expect from a Windows Mobile device. Everything's very nice, very easy to see, and very easy to use. As you can see, the screen is pretty responsive. However, there are certain times when we have to touch the screen 2 and even 3 times. It does have haptic feedback and also makes a noise to let us know when we've touched something, But, unfortunately, just because that goes off doesn't mean the item has been touched. We really appreciate this advanced skinning that Samsung has done. For the most part, you don't even realize that you're in a Windows Mobile environment. You do have the Start menu button at the top at times, and there are certain programs, like Notes, which take you to the traditional Windows Mobile home screen, Windows Mobile program. However, even most of those have been redone. For instance, the Smart Memo application is very cool. Not only can we write a new memo, we can also insert images, as well as video and sound. As you can see, the menu options have also been reskinned. This is something that HTC has done, but we like Samsung's a little bit better. This memo can then be saved as an image, and that way we can save it to our computer. All throughout the device, you see Samsung's wonderful skinning of Windows. It truly makes the device much more of a joy to use, and it's probably our favorite Windows Mobile port. The one thing really holding it back, though, is the lag. Again, like we said, it can be several seconds, sometimes even 30 or 40, before we can get to doing what we want. There are also times when we can't swipe through pages properly. It takes 1 or 2 tries to get to where we want to go. One more time, the Omnia II is on the verge of being a great phone. However, whether it's Samsung or whether it's Windows Mobile, we have a feeling it's the latter. The lag really just holds it up. It is surprising because the Omnia II runs on a very powerful 800 MHz processor. Short of the Toshiba 1 GHz processor that we just saw released, this is the leading processor on the market. Hopefully, maybe in the Omnia 3, or more likely in an Android device, we'll see a much snappier experience, which gives the user interface a true, better feel. All in all, we really do like the Omnia II. We just wish there wasn't so much lag, and that the user experience was a little bit better. You can disable the TouchWiz UI. However, we really don't want to do that. It's one of the things that we like about it. We just wished it worked a little bit better. The size is good though. It's large, of course. Having a 3.7-inch display, you can't really hide that anywhere. But it's lightweight enough and slim enough that it felt comfortable in our pocket. It also feels comfortable in the hand. It's not too wide, and in talking on it, it feels good up against the face. One of the things we thought was very odd was the cube interface. If we go to the Start menu, we can access the cube, which we also saw on the Jet. It's great eye candy, but really doesn't have a lot of functionality, and we're not really sure where it fits in on this device. We guess it's one of those things that Samsung just thought looked really cool. In the end, the Omnia is a very cool phone. It serves its purpose, it's one of the better Windows Mobile devices out there, and the screen's downright fantastic. However, we just can't get past the lag. We can't say it enough, but it really takes away from the user experience. If Samsung can address this with software updates, or, more likely, move it to Android, we think they'd have a much better device.